Hello guys, we are back with our next lecture. In this lecture, let us go through some issues of implementation of RPC guys. So basically RPC might sound easy, like it can do that, it can do this, but there are some drawbacks guys. So the first drawback is nothing but protocol selection guys. So basically whenever any kind of application, okay, in networking, any kind of protocol, any kind of application, you are 100% confused with this guys. So whether it should be a connection oriented or connectionless. So here client is bounded to the server and a connection is established in terms of connection oriented. Okay. So the advantages here will be communication becomes much easier. So basically if there is an exact connection, so if he drops the files here, automatically he will be receiving at some time, right? So there is no issue, and even the loss of packets and everything can be identified really easily. The major disadvantage is that especially over LAN, it will be performing loss. So basically if you do the same process in LANs, so even a single procedure call will be going here to there, and that thing could reduce the performance of the LAN guys. Okay, so that is the reason why if you think of using connectionless, so connectionless will have some drawback. Yes. Okay, so IP and UDP are easy to use and fit in well with the existing system, but the downside is performance. So here the performance is really less guys. Here there is only sometimes it will be less, but here the performance is too less, and it is a bit hard to implement, and even the failures or any kind of collisions cannot be detected in this UDP connectionless guys. Okay, yes. Okay, similarly the second drawback is nothing but the length of the packet identification guys. So packet and message length identification is an issue. So basically you need to have some standards. If there is no standard, you cannot identify it, because here we are doing in terms of code and all those things, right? So here we are doing in terms of calls. So calls are converted to messages, like packing. Using packing, you will be converting it into message. So that message should be of a minimum length. If the length is more, that could be an issue. So there is no fixed length thing in this RPC. Okay. Similarly, reading a single file could be an issue, and even very small file is also not efficient. Okay. So assume that you want to transfer a file of 1 MB. Okay. So assume that you sent that 1 MB directly. So assume that the whole network can run only on 512 KB. So now you need to divide your file into two, but you didn't divide it. So again the router should divide, and that's a whole different process, right? Yes. Okay, so that could be an issue. Similarly, you divided your file into 1 KB, but your network capacity is up to 512 KB, means you are wasting your resources, right? Yes. So this also could be a drawback. So this is the confusion with the RPC guys. Okay, so now let us go through the advantages and disadvantages of RPC. So the advantage is nothing but it supports the process oriented and thread oriented models. Okay, so the internal message passing mechanism or RPC is hidden from the user. Yes, the effort of rewriting and redeveloping the code is a minimum in RPC. Okay, the RPC can be used in a distributed environment system as well as the local environment. So it can be used anywhere, and the reusability of the code will increase, because if your friend wrote the code, there is no need for you to copy and paste it in your system, right? So that's an duplicacy. The rewriting of the code has been reduced. Okay, similarly it is hidden. Okay, yes. The disadvantages are nothing but it increases the cost, and it is not flexible, as we see many problems and many drawbacks with it. Okay, yes. So I hope everyone got a clear idea about RPC. So in the next lecture, we will be discussing about remote method invocation. That is nothing but RMI. Guys, basically RPC is more popular when compared to RMI, because RMI can be used in Java guys. In Java applications, you can use RMI. Okay, you can use RPC also. Along with that, you can use this RMI also, because RMI uses JVM, Java Virtual Machines. So that is the reason why you need Java as mandatory when you are trying to use RMI. Okay, yes. So I hope everyone got some basic idea about RPC. So in the next lecture, we'll be going through RMI. Okay, so let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Thanks for watching.